everyone. We are the group 5, and I am Marian B. Pangaloon,
And I am Julang Caras.
and we are the group 5 representatives. So let's first tackle about Piaget's cognitive development. So Piaget's cognitive development states that a child goes through 4 sequential stages, namely the sensory motor stage, the pre-operational stage, the concrete operational stage, and the formal operational stage. At this stage, children are expected to develop certain activities such as object permanence, egocentrism, and more. So in this theory, it emphasizes that the child plays an active role in building its knowledge, so knowledge construction. The main focus of this theory is that children plays an important role in building their own knowledge rather than passively receiving information. So as future teachers, we could use this theory to keep in mind that notion readiness is important. Readiness concerns of when a concept or information should be taught. So since this theory is stage specific, pasabot that at a certain stage, there are those developments that are expected from a child. So that means that we could make more flexible and appropriate lesson that is tailored for the child to learn in that specific stage of her life or his life. So I said earlier that children plays an active role in building their knowledge. So as future teachers, we should promote an active learning environment or a hands-on experiences and experiential learning environment where students can actively engage with their classmates and those activities that caters diverse learning needs.
Next, we will be talking about the Albert Bandura social learning theory. So this theory suggests that every student, every individual learn in a social context, and that this learning depends on and is facilitated with the concept of modeling, observational learning, and imitation. So understanding the social learning theory is very important because it helps us understand how our environment, how people in our society shape us as an individual and help us nurture our behavior. So as a future educator, how am I supposed to apply this in a inclusive education setting? So as a future education, we must always keep in mind that every student came from different environments, came from different communities, and that they have different backgrounds. So we need to consider those things in strategizing our ways of lessons rather. So promoting a friendly and sensitive environment or classroom to each and every student is very essential. That only models appropriate behavior because we are not only instilling knowledge, we are also shaping them, we are also honing them, and we are promoting appropriate behaviors in their minds. So also encouraging group activities and collaborative learning is very essential. It does not only enhances their interactivity, but it also helps students to socialize. It also incorporates social skills, which is very helpful in their learning. And also communicating with students with their the differences of inappropriate and appropriate behavior is very essential because with this I am able to let my students understand what are the behaviors that they must refrain and what are the behaviors that they must do in order for them to learn more. And then also encouraging them to experience various types of models will help them end the stigma of traditional stereotypes. So this social learning theory emphasizes that individuals learn in social context. So it means to say that as a teacher, we need to think of ways that our students will be in a society where they will positively learn and they will gain more knowledge positively rather than negatively. So next, we will be talking about the Lev-Vygotsky scaffolding. So Lev-Vygotsky is the proponent or the one who introduces the zone of proximal development, where students learn best with the help of guidance. Excuse me. So this theory of Lev-Vygotsky essentially describes the gap between those individuals who learn without the help of others and those individuals who learn with MAOs or the more knowledgeable others. So with this theory is not a fixed concept. Rather, it varies from individual to individual because individuals differ from their levels of development, prior knowledge, experiences, and even the guidance they receive from others. So yeah,
So as a future educator, how will we apply these theories to promote an inclusive education? So at first, we must integrate or promote differentiated instruction, which could lead to personalized, individualized learning by identifying the child's zone of proximal development. Since this emphasizes the zone of proximal development, this theory. So we could also encourage a collaborative learning environment wherein through group discussions, the child or our students could scaffold each other's learning by sharing knowledge and experiences. Also, this could foster an open dialogue environment where they can comfortably ask questions and ultimately fill the knowledge gaps of their minds. So, this theory is, if we take proper consideration, we could promote a more inclusive education that caters to the diverse needs of our students in the future. That would be all.